Welcome back to the garden here in East South Wales. Well, good news, Tony's new agave has come back through the post today. So it came back not in a pot, it came back in a box, but inside that box it was actually in a plastic bag. So I need to go out today. I've put it in here temporarily, but I need to go out today to B&M and see if I can find a pot to put this in. So it was going to go in the ground, but I think I'm going to keep it in a pot in the greenhouse for a little while. There's a little bit of damage on the leaves, but nothing that won't come in time. So come with me to B&M and we'll go looking for a pot and a few other bits and pieces while I'm down there. So it's actually stopped raining, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to pop down to B&M with Tony. That's a lovely looking pot there for the new agave. Might pick up one of them now. And I also need to pick up some pea gravel, if I can find it. And also another bag of compost. There's the pea gravel that I use, £5.49 a bag. So I'll pick up one of them and a new compost. This is the compost that I always use in the garden. And this is Westland multi-purpose compost with added John Innes, and that's £7.99 a bag. But I do find this an excellent compost. Now these little heuchera are an absolute bargain. £3 each or 3 for £6. They're a lovely looking little plant. So definitely 3 of them will be coming into the trolley. And I always find that they've got some lovely grasses as well. Not that I need any, but if you are looking for some grasses, B&M is certainly the place to come. Lovely. Now when I'm looking through the plants, I always try and sift through them all, looking for the strong growers. So I'm going to have a look through these now and try and pick 3 of the best ones from in there. So they've still got the small little Dicksonia Antarctica in stock, £6.50 for these. I'm just looking there. They are growing, but what I'm looking for is some evergreen ferns. So I've picked up 2 of these ones here. I can't pronounce it, but they are evergreen. So 2 of them are going in the trolley. And they've also got some lovely phormiums here. They've got the Sundowner and the Jester, £12.50. These are lovely for a tropical garden. So they've still got this lovely plant here, and this is £85. It's a lovely size on this one. And I also noticed the Chamarops there, £37.50. And these at the back, they've got 2 of these, and these are called Photinia mushroom. And just look at that on there, covered in white flowers and lovely bronze leaves. Absolutely beautiful plant. Small Trachycarpus Virginiae, £18.50. And they've still got the large one there, the £150 ones. And there's another Photinia there, the mushroom. I really do like these. And just down at the bottom here, some more phormiums. That's the yellow wave there. I've got a few of these in the garden and they grow absolutely wonderful. Lovely colour on these. So we've come back now from B&M and the rain has managed to hold off. So what exactly have I bought? Well, I bought 3 of those little heucheras, 3 new grasses there, and I haven't had any of these in the garden before, so I'm hoping these will be good growers. 3 new evergreen ferns, and I've got just the space for them. A brand new euphorbia, and I haven't had this variety before. I've had the Miner's Merlot, which is a purple one, but I haven't had this one. So we've got a variety of pots now. I forgot to show you last time, but this is the one that we picked up, the larger one in Pontedilais Garden Centre. And I'm hoping that this smaller one here will be just the right size to put in Tony's new agave. So as I look now down the garden, you can see that there is a little bit of a space. So those heucheras, those small heucheras are going to come out, and that's where I'm going to plant one of the new ferns. Now I also noticed the other day when I was tidying up that in this side border here, there's a little bit of a space in there also. So I'm going to pop in there one of the Euphorbia Robbieis, and I'm putting that in there as it does quite well really in shadier areas, and it should spread out quite nicely. So this Robbia Euphorbia is going to come out, go in the shadier spot, and in this centre bed here, which gets full sun, I'm going to plant the new Euphorbia. So the plan is that this variegated agave is coming out of the ground here, and also this Yucca Gloriosa is coming out of the pot. Now the Yucca doesn't need any protection at all through the winter, so the plan is that Yucca is going into this bed here, so then I haven't got to fuss about through the winter months with overhead protection. And this agave will be going into a pot where it can be overwintered in the greenhouse out of the winter wet. So first job is to get this agave out of the ground. So this agave hasn't been in the ground for that long, so it should hopefully just pull out of here quite easily. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's fine. So this is going into the large green pot, so I need to just pull it out and just place it over here for a second. And into that hole, I'm going to just pop this one here. So it's a good mixture in here of the John Innes compost and the pea gravel, so that will give it really good drainage. There we are. And I'm just going to pop that in here and plant it up. So I'll pop a little bit more compost on there, I think. And that can grow away. So I have got a little bit of gravel left over in another bag. So let's pop some of that in this pot. And this will just give it the drainage that it needs. So you can see the it's got some excellent roots on this plant. So I'm going to pop it in here. And the idea is not to have too much compost, because I don't want it sitting in any wet compost. So tuck all the roots in, and then just try and pop in some earth around it. It's not as easy as it looks. Packing it in. Bit of a messy job. And it's hard to get round the spikes. So this is some of the earth that came with the plants. So I'm going to try and keep it in a little bit of the same growing medium. Press it down. And then just fill it up then with some of this Johnnings that I've got in here with the added grit. And I think this should be a perfect size pot for this. They are supposed to be really hardy in the UK, as long as they don't get too wet. So I'll be bringing this in under the cover of the greenhouse for the winter. And apparently they never pup, so they can only ever grow from seed. So apparently this particular plant is 4 years old. So I'm going to try and get it as straight as I can. I think it'll enjoy being back into a pot. So I don't know how long it's been in transport for. Few days most probably. Right, and then cover it up with some gravel. And these spikes are quite deadly. Lovely. Really happy with that. Right, so I've had a little bit of a tidy up now, ready to show you how things have turned out. So there's the new Ovatifolia agave. Now this is also known as a whale's tongue agave. And it's a lovely looking plant. And it really fits nice into that pot. So the variegated agave. The Americana is now in a pot there on the corner, and that can be easily transported now into the greenhouse for the winter months. So there's a few ferns been added. I've placed one in there next to the honey pot, and the other two have gone into this space here. Now what I was finding, I would have liked to have planted it closer to that trunk there of the Dixonia, but that's full of roots there from the Dixonia, so it was impossible. So I have managed to fit another one just at the front there. So you can probably see it better from this side. And there they both are there, just tucked in that gap there. Lovely. Next to this yucca. Lovely looking plant this, and it's really settled into the ground now since it's been planted out. So you can just see now, tucked in that border there is the Euphorbia robbii. And everything in this side border now is growing lovely. The Schefflera taiwaniana, that's really filling out there. And I'm really enjoying this border since I got rid of the bamboo here. Looks a lot more interesting now than it did before. The little clematis that I planted at the back there, the Ernest Markham, that's really starting to climb up now, up to the trellis, so that won't be long. So the Yucca Gloriosa has now gone in to this raised bed here, and it's surprising, since I planted it in here, it actually looks a lot bigger than what I thought it was. And next to that now is the new Euphorbia, so that should fill up really well there. And as I said, the reason really that I wanted to pop the Gloriosa here is that it's much more easy care, and working long hours, I just haven't got time to go building structures in the garden. So hopefully that'll grow up now into a small tree-like plant and fill up this space here, where everything's looking wonderful in the garden at the moment. And I'm really pleased with the progress, even though the weather isn't that good at the moment. So do you like your new agave, Tony, in the pot?
Look at it, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Let's have a look at it then, turn it round, let's see it.
Beautiful,
Turn it towards the camera. Are you happy with it in the new pot?
Very, very happy, but it's heavy.
It's lovely, isn't it?
It's lovely.
So I've just repositioned now the Yucca Americana so that it doesn't stick out into the pathway so much. So hopefully Tony won't bump into that now when he's going to the garage. So everything in the garden now is really coming alive in the early spring. I haven't planted my new grasses yet, or my heuchera, but that's a job now for maybe tomorrow. So just a quick little video today just to show you what I've been doing in the garden, moving a few things around and potting up the new Agave Ovatifolia. So I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I'll catch up with you soon in the garden. Until next time, bye for now.